Hi Year 11, today's lesson is going to be revising a what impression question. We're going to start with some lower tariff questions just to remind us of the type of questions we should expect in our exam, and then we're going to build to answering a what impression question. As it says there then, if you've managed to print off the text, you will need a pen and a highlighter. If you can't print it, it's no problem, but you'll need to open it to read it when we come to writing up our answer to the what impression question later in the lesson. First of all then, we've got a summarised question to answer. So the question I want you to think about is to summarise how Maisie Williams believes mental health representation in drama can help young people. It is only worth 3 marks, so we need 3 points, perhaps an extra one, in the bank just in case. So let's listen to what she says. Don't forget, if you miss what she says, you can rewind the video and watch it as many times as you need to help you to write up your answer.
Shows like Cyberbully can really help young people build up the courage to ask for help or to accept that actually what is going on in the classroom or online isn't acceptable, and I feel like it inspires young people to pick up the phone or talk to a parent or just get help really. And I think after Cyberbully was aired in the UK, we had the anti-bullying line on afterwards, and they had a massive influx of calls from kids and teenagers who have been too frightened to speak out and try and stop whatever is happening, and I feel like it gave them the confidence to do that. In Casey's situation particularly, after her friends and family found out about her mental health issues and her struggles online, they didn't judge her, they accepted it, and they were very forgiving and very helpful. And I think seeing that for someone who may be going through something similar would hopefully be uplifting, and it should be uplifting. No one's going to judge you, and there is people out there who really do just want to help you. And I hope that's the message that people get from series like Cyberbully.
Okay then, so hopefully you've had your green books with you. Let's open to a new page. You can put today's date, and we can put Big 10 summarise, because that's our first question type that we're looking at today. So just to refresh our memories then, a summarise answer should always be bullet pointed, of course. You have to use your own words. You're not allowed to use quotes. So in this instance, you're not allowed to use words that she actually said. You're going to have to paraphrase. We need to aim for our bullet points to be short and concise, and the tariff is indicative of the answer length. So as I said before, it's worth 3 marks. Perhaps we could have 4 points just so that 1 is in the bank. Okay, so let's pause the video here then and write out the question and then your answer to this instruction. Okay, let's have a look then. Let's see what she said about how she believes mental health representation in drama can help young people. So she said that it gives them the confidence to contact the relevant agencies for support. She also said it helps them to see why they are being treated incorrectly in their own lives. She then said it can incite them, it can make them feel moved to speak to family about their mental health. It can directly increase young people's interaction with helplines. So she said at the end they had lots of calls to the helpline that was on the screen. Watching a character's experience with mental health can be inspiring or provide motivation or make people optimistic. I think she used the word uplifting, so as long as we didn't use that word, that's fine. And she said it can be informative in showing young people what support is available to them. So any of those 3 or any paraphrased points along those lines would give you the 3 marks. If you did want to see the programme that she was talking about called Cyberbully, it is available online for you to watch. It's quite good, I enjoyed it. Okay, next then we've got an explain question, so you could pause the video here and copy down the question that we're about to answer. Just want to show you a short video first. Okay, so our next question then is, explain why Sidemen member Harry Lewis participated in the Mind charity event Switch Off, Game Off. It is worth 5 marks, so we need 5, maybe 6 things just in case. Let's see what he said and then we can focus on how we'd write up our answer. When Mind approached me to lead the online campaign, I knew I had a chance to make a difference. My channel has over 15 million subs, so with such a large audience, I could make a real difference. I think it's important the Sidemen and I reach out to our audience as they are so young and impressionable. Being a positive influence is really important. Mind explained that young boys are 60% less likely to ask for help with their mental health, so I agreed that seeing an older male role model talk about mental health could really normalise asking for help. Gaming is also something I feel really passionate about, and it plays a huge role in my life. It has provided me with escapism and a like-minded community, so I wanted to welcome other young gamers and help them get connected. Online streaming has taken off as a platform for communication and interaction, so we should use it for a good cause. Okay, so explain then. Of course, we need to use full and extended sentences. So it's not quite like a summarise where we need it to be short and concise. We need full sentences here. We aren't allowed to use quotes, so this time you are not allowed to take anything from what Harry said. And as I said earlier, the tariff is indicative of the number of points needed. So it is worth 5 marks, you need 5 things. So go back to the previous section where we saw what Harry said, pause it so you can read it, and then write up the question for me and write up your answer. Okay, let's see what kind of things would have got you some marks then. Let's see what we think of this model answer. So it says, Harry Lewis was aware that he had a large audience, so he felt a sense of duty to make a change with regards to mental health. So the first reason why is because he felt a sense of duty. So we've got 1 mark already. He was also aware that his young audience are easily influenced and therefore wanted to be a good role model to them. Okay, there's our 2nd mark. He wanted to be a role model. Harry also felt that as he is a young man, he could reach his audience of the same gender and change the fact that men are less likely to seek support. So he felt that the fact that he was a young man, he could reach out to younger men and boys and encourage them to seek support. So we've got 3 marks so far. I've then said he also outlines how much gaming means to him and he wanted to unite others to share the same experience. So this idea of uniting people. And then lastly, he wanted to use streaming services for a purposeful reason as it is currently so popular. So there's our 5th mark. So we've got 5 separate points that don't use the words that Harry said previously, and we've got our 5 marks. Nice and easy, hopefully. Okay, next then you need the article entitled Young Minds. I'm not going to read through it today just to try and keep this video nice and short, so you are going to have to read it on your own. So open it on your phone, or if you've printed it out, brilliant. And let's copy down the question. What impression do you get of the support offered by the charity Young Minds? Okay, before we have a look then, let's remind ourselves of how we answer a what impression question. So we use the structure point and evidence or evidence and explain. I think most of us up to this point have been doing point and evidence, so saying the impression and then supporting the impression with evidence from the text. There's no need for P's here, there's no language analysis involved. It is all about interpretation and deduction and your ability to read between the lines. Don't make similar points, so don't use words that are synonyms of each other. And as always, the more perceptive comments, the less obvious answers are better. And try and stretch your vocabulary year 11, okay? Try and use the best adjectives that you possibly can. So I'm not going to read the whole article, but I am going to have a look at the first paragraph for you. Let's have a look then, and if you're following along with me, see what you would highlight as I read through it. Young Minds is the fighting force for a future where all young minds are supported and empowered, whatever their challenges. Daisy's story. I first learned about Young Minds when they presented a talk at my school. As a young carer, I often felt I was being an adult before I was ready and never had time to just be a teenager. When Young Minds became involved in my life, this all changed. They listened to me and organised days out for my friends where I could be carefree and know that my mum was cared for at home. They tailored my support exactly to my situation and made sure activities and events were about things that I was interested in. They gave me freedom to be myself and not feel guilty about wanting to be a child. I now feel strong and empowered to spread awareness about the work that they do and how they could improve your life. Okay, so it's focused on the support that you would get from the charity then. So let's see what I highlighted. So first of all, I've got the description fighting force. Now, obviously, if we were doing a how question, we would comment on the fricative F sounds and how they're forceful and powerful, and how that phrase is used to, that alliteration is used to reflect the sort of force and power that they have. But we're not doing language analysis today, we're just doing inference skills. So if it is a fighting force, again, I would say that it's powerful, it's active. If something's a fighting force, it suggests it's out there and it's doing things. Next, I highlighted that they presented a talk at my school. You could say that shows that they are proactive, that they're engaging with their audience, they're making an effort to go into schools to expand and things like that. I then highlighted that her life changed. So she says this all changed. So you could say that it is revolutionary in some way. You couldn't really say life-changing because that's too close to the words that are in the texts. You could say it has a huge impact on people, something like that. Next, I highlighted that they listen to me. So if something or someone is listening to you, it shows that they care, they're empathetic maybe, that they're compassionate, they're taking time out to listen to you and what you want to say. I also highlighted they tailored my support. So if something's tailored to you, it suggests that it's bespoke. They've taken a lot of time to go through it and make sure it fits you perfectly. It's very person-centred, it's unique, that nobody else would have the same experience because it is adapted specifically to individuals. Then I also highlighted I now feel strong and empowered. Obviously you couldn't say empowering because that's too close to the word there. You could say it's inspirational, it's motivating. You could just say that it gives people confidence to live their lives. So we've got lots of things there. We've already got 6 things, and that is only the first paragraph. So, as we have with the other ones then, I'd like you to draw a table with enough space for 10 impressions. Okay, I know that this helps some of you to write up your answer and to organise it. If you feel absolutely super duper confident and you think you're going to smash it without the table, then that's fine. Okay, you can write up your answer. Obviously, you won't have time to write up a table in your exam anyway. So what did I say then? So I said, first of all, I got the impression that the support offered by Young Minds was powerful, or that the charity as a whole was powerful. And as I touched upon earlier, the evidence for that was that they are a fighting force. Next, I said that they're proactive. They don't just sit back, they get out there, they do something, supported by the phrase, presented a talk at my school. And then the last example I'm going to give you then, I said they are revolutionising. This all changed. So they've revolutionised this young girl's life. They've changed it for the better. They've given it an overhaul, and she's had a positive outcome. So you've got 3 there to start you off. You're more than welcome to use them. If you think you can find better ones or you don't like those ones, then that is fine. Now you need to complete the table for the rest of the text. You've got 15 minutes to write this up, don't forget. If it takes you a little bit longer now, that's absolutely fine, but time is not your friend in an exam year 11. You need to clock watch and see if we can answer this one in 15 minutes. So pause the video here, time yourself, let's do it properly, see if you can manage to do it in 15 minutes. We're going to leave it there for today then, Year 11. I think you've had enough to get on with. I have set this as an assignment, so when you're finished, don't forget to submit your work on Teams. We are trialling a new system now that we've got live and pre-recorded lessons for all of your lessons, that you try and do the work within your English lesson time, and like you would in class, you finish it by the end of that time. Okay, so by the end of this lesson, I'd like you to get it done, please, and then submit it to the assignment. As always, during your lesson time, I'm not live with anyone else. I'll be there at my laptop ready to answer any questions. So if you are stuck with anything, please just let me know.